Following Tim Duncan and David Robinson, the Spurs have found their new king. Renowned for its exceptional big man history and as a haven for some of the greatest European talents in NBA history, San Antonio now boasts a player who embodies both of these attributes. The NBA has long been a showcase for extraordinary athletes, with legends like LeBron James, Vince Carter, and Shaquille O'Neal gracing the court. Victor Wembanyama's ascent signals a shift as he represents the pinnacle of basketball evolution today. Many consider him the most eagerly awaited newcomer since LeBron James entered the league in 2003. The excitement surrounding the French phenom has been detectable since he first emerged as a top prospect in Europe at just 14 years old. From the start, I recognized his uniqueness. He possesses remarkable talent and is guided by an exceptional coach who will ensure he plays the game the right way and continues to develop.
This is a long-time dream to finally accomplish this, and it finally shows that the hard work has finally paid off for me.
The Spurs faced significant challenges in the last season, particularly in getting the ball to Wemby due to the absence of a traditional point guard. Fortunately, they now have one of the greatest point guards in basketball history, Chris Paul, who can serve as a floor general and help unlock Wemby's full potential. Chris is a consummate professional and an excellent mentor for Wemby, who will continue to develop his skills independently. Defensively, Wemby's already a formidable force, making a significant impact at such a young age. His ability to influence the game defensively is remarkable.
Vic made some big shots down the stretch, some big rebounds. This was a great team win. Thank y'all for the support. Appreciate it.
We've seen how players like Rudy Gobert elevate their teams as rim protectors, but Wemby poses an even greater threat. What makes him particularly dangerous is the fact that his offensive game still has immense room for growth. Right now, it's in its early stages as he experiments with what works best for him. Criticism of Wembanyama for relying too heavily on perimeter play has become a hot topic, especially following a sluggish start to the season. However, in the last 8 games, his performance has been impressive, including a career-high 50-point game against the Wizards. This makes me believe that the Spurs are strategizing something brilliant. Wembanyama's game has clearly evolved from his rookie to sophomore year. The most significant change is in his three-point shooting. He averaged 5.5 attempts per game last season, but that number has jumped to 9.3 this year. In some instances, he's taken as many as 13 or 14 shots from beyond the arc, showcasing a style more similar to a 7'4" wing player. Currently, he ranks in the top 10 for three-point attempts in the league, a list predominantly featuring guards. This represents a significant leap for Wemby, not just on a personal level, but also within the broader landscape of the NBA.
When you talk about a guy that's arguably, he's going to be the best player on both ends of the floor in the next 2 years.
However, this transition has not come without its hurdles. Early in the season, his three-point shooting was less than impressive. In the Spurs' Halloween matchup against the Jazz, during which San Antonio held a 2-3 record, Wemby had only made 8 of his 34 three-point attempts, resulting in a 23% success rate. A common critique is that at 7'4", he should be utilizing his height more effectively in the paint. Nevertheless, Wemby boasts an impressive 75% shooting percentage in the restricted area, showcasing his remarkable efficiency when he embarks inside. The challenge lies not in his ability to dominate in the paint, but rather in the Spurs' strategy to ensure he doesn't become overly dependent on that aspect of his game.
It's sometimes hard to realize this is already the highest level basketball, apart from playoffs, obviously. Nowhere near, but on the right path,
Another significant change is the way Wemby's being integrated into the offense. As a rookie, his role was somewhat restricted. He primarily caught lobs, secured offensive rebounds, finished plays, and occasionally stepped out for a jumper. To his credit, Wemby was an excellent role player from the start, but the challenge was having Jeremy Sochan as the main playmaker. The arrivals of Chris Paul and rookie Stephon Castle have greatly influenced Wemby's involvement in pick-and-roll and pick-and-pop situations. Now he's much more active as a creator, facing defenders, taking step-back threes, and initiating plays off the dribble. Regarding his shooting percentages, it took Wemby some time to shake off the rust after limited preseason play, and to adapt to the pace and style of the NBA.
I'm not disappointed, but I'm like, that's it.
However, in the last games, we're witnessing the emergence of his transformed game, as he's averaging over 30 points and shooting above 40% from three-point range. In the game against Washington, he attempted a season-high 16 three-pointers, making half of them. This recent performance from Wemby has not only quieted his critics, but has also begun to showcase the brilliance of the Spurs' strategy. They're allowing him the freedom to take three-point shots at a high volume, which is essential for his development as an outside shooter. He's attempting significantly more threes from both pick-and-pop and isolation scenarios compared to his rookie season. When Victor entered the league, he earned the nickname the Alien, and it appears that San Antonio has fully embraced this uniqueness. Rather than opting for a conservative approach, they're nurturing a player who has the potential to transform the role of big man in the NBA, accepting the inevitable challenges that come with growth. Additionally, it's important to recognize that no player can develop every aspect of their game at once.
I think I'm comfortable in every area of the floor to shoot, but at the same time, if I'm not in rhythm in any area of the floor, I'll miss.
For instance, consider how different LeBron James was during the early stages of his career. His game relied heavily on athleticism. His shooting was inconsistent, his playmaking skills were not as refined, and his post game was underdeveloped. It's taken several seasons to implement and develop every facet of the game, and with Wembanyama, the challenge is even more pronounced given his extraordinary potential. Refining such a diverse set of skills requires time, and he realistically cannot focus on everything simultaneously. This is likely why there's a strong emphasis on perimeter play and shooting a high volume of threes as he transitions into a star role for the team. The ultimate goal will be to merge his elite inside game with a refined outside game. His length and finesse make him nearly unstoppable near the basket, but what truly distinguishes him is how his outside shooting enhances his inside game. If Wembanyama continues to hit threes at his current pace, defenders will have no choice but to respect his shooting range, which will create driving lanes for him to finish or set up his teammates. We can already see that smaller, quicker defenders struggle against his size in the post, while traditional bigs find it challenging to keep up with him on the perimeter. Now, if he adds a reliable three-point shot to his arsenal, it's truly astonishing. However, with generational talent comes immense hype and expectations. Sometimes we overlook the fact that Wembanyama is just 20 years old.
This has been one of the toughest battles, and I didn't think it would be as tough of a battle on the mental aspect. I thought it would be harder on the body.
Think about the possible outcomes if he dedicates the next few seasons to improving his main weaknesses. He definitely needs to build some muscle and boost his physicality, but as I noted, he's wisely taking a measured and gradual approach instead of rushing to bulk up. It's likely that he'll also focus on enhancing his post game and possibly his mid-range shooting. His ball handling skills are already impressive, and with a few more years of refinement, it's hard to envision anyone being able to defend him. Of course, there's no guarantee that he will improve in every aspect, but that's part of the excitement. He has the chance to try, and it seems the Spurs are positioned to support this development. Are they a playoff team this year? Based on current trends, they certainly seem to be in the running. The addition of veteran players has had a significant impact on San Antonio. Last year, they often lost games they looked set to win, allowing leads to slip away in the final moments. This season, that added experience has already helped them secure half the number of wins they achieved in 82 games last year. If everything falls into place, it could be a game changer. A 7'4" player who can dominate inside like Giannis, has KD's isolation skills, and can protect the rim like Gobert is definitely worth the wait. The Spurs seem to recognize that true greatness takes time. They're providing Wemby with the necessary tools, freedom, and time to experience setbacks, learn, and develop. This is a long-term commitment, not just to his skill set, but also to building his confidence and adaptability. The criticism, early struggles, and occasional poor performances are simply part of the journey.
If I was never born, I think he would deserve the first spot.
What truly matters is that we're already catching glimpses of his potential. Critics should reconsider their stance. While Wemby's current style may not align with the conventional expectations for a player of his stature, that's precisely the issue. The NBA is changing, and Wembanyama is leading that change. If his recent performances are any indication, the Spurs' strategy isn't merely effective, it's beginning to flourish. Victor Wembanyama has the potential to be a perennial MVP candidate throughout his career, similar to players like LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. Next season, when Wembanyama enters his third season, he'll be in the conversation for MVP if he leads the Spurs to a significant improvement in their record. And by his fifth season, Spurs will be one of the main contenders, and Wemby could get a ring and MVP award in the same season. But the most incredible is that around 2030, he'll be in his prime, and if he stays healthy, the sky's the limit for this French alien.